Hello again, everyone. This is Dan Romance, and welcome to our program. I'm happy to be joined by one of TSP's longtime tenured clients, Dr. David Pearce from New York State. David, good morning and welcome to our program.
Hi, Dan. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. But good to be here.
Let folks know how long you've been in practice, where exactly in the state your practice is, and then we'll just kick off and get started.
Sure. Practiced dentistry for 37 or so years. Last 25 have been in the Syracuse, New York, central New York suburb in a single dentist practice, although my daughter dentist joined us about 4 years ago. So, and enjoying that.
Very good. Well, you are seriously one of our longest tenured dentist clients that we have, and we're certainly glad to have kept you into service. I always like to ask folks, before you met us here at Tax Saving Professionals, what were some of the frustrations that you felt were building regarding your tax situation in general?
Paying too much to the government.
Yeah, that's a good bottom line right there.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It just seemed as that number grew, that there were some techniques or tools that I had discovered along the way through some advisory groups that were designed strictly to reduce taxes, therefore putting more money in my pocket. And as the tax bill got greater and greater, it seemed like there might be more strategies out there that were proven tested that I just didn't know about. So that kind of created a search in my head.
So as your practice started to mature and as your production started to increase, obviously your personal income was increasing, and so was the bill that the big bad tax man was giving you federally and from the state. So a lot of folks say that reaching out to a specialist uh, is something that can take you to the next level to accomplish what you're looking to do. And that's how we view TSP as a specialist, much like an endodontist is a specialist in helping the patients of a general dentist. Tax Saving Professionals is looking to work with the CPA of our clients as a specialty resource. How has your CPA been as far as his receptivity in working with our firm?
It's been for the most part very good. There was one hesitancy in one CPA group, but I guess experience helps an awful lot. I know initially when I even talked to, wasn't you all, was a number of years before that, about the idea of creating a family limited partnership and creating a professional corporation that the local excellent local CPA said, well, one of those just wasn't even legal. And the other one, I'd have to wait a whole year to do it because you can only do it in the beginning of the year. And then subsequently talking to other people, they said, no, that just isn't true. Either one of those isn't true. And so I think I just kind of found that CPAs are like dentists. Some just have more ability, more skills, more knowledge. They're more current than other dentists. Why wouldn't CPAs be the same? And so I had to kind of go up the food chain, so to speak, in the CPAs to find ones I looked at and said either that's exactly the way I would do it, awesome, great, good, or that's a pretty creative way of using this tax code, which is totally legal. Let me check it out and then come back and say, that's awesome, that totally fits, and now we got a new tool in our arsenal, thanks to TSP. So yeah, so it's worked out very well.
That's a really nice comparison, a dentist's ability and a CPA's ability or willingness even.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
Tell me about working with your team. How often or how frequently do you meet with your TSP team? And then in between meetings, how is the accessibility and your ability to reach out and communicate in between meetings through texts and emails and such?
I think that they're very accessible. I don't actually meet really that often. I think just often enough that we sort of we virtually, I think all the tools maybe that make sense that you all have, we're using all those to reduce taxes. So the idea of like, here's something new, here's something different, that there are some that come in, that you go through stages in life, and the stage that I am in my practice and in life are such that that we're doing great as far as reducing our tax burden. And every year we have to tweak things and change things and get new numbers and make new projections. And certainly you all and Tom Gibson are awesome about setting that up. And when I get stupid and change my mind, you guys are always very, very accommodating. Like, okay, well, we can run some new numbers based on this thing you just decided to do, Dave, without talking to us. Yeah, you all have been very good that way.
And I like the way you made reference to, doing something, uh, you know, it goes beyond just the tax saving strategies. We as a firm want to be involved in pretty much everything financial in our clients' lives, because whenever there's finances involved, there inevitably is the potential of a tax event, right? So
That's
whenever folks are looking to acquire new assets or sell assets or bring on a partner or whatever, we want to be able to recommend the proper ways to do things. That way we can significantly reduce the tax burden that might come from that event.
sure, right. That's true. And you've been helpful.
Tell me about your portfolio. We deliver to our clients in the mail a physical leather portfolio that contains the documentation that really justifies the validity of all the deductions. How has that been a help for you?
I'm not really I appreciate numbers and I run numbers, I guess, in my head, but I'm not, I'm probably not the best dot the i's and cross the t's type person. So for me, it's it's an insurance policy. It's a security blanket that I can look at and say, good, everything's covered as long as I do what I need to do, that I don't have to think about is all this up to speed with IRS code and with if there was an audit, would everything hold up under the audit? So it's I wouldn't say like spoon fed, but I appreciate spoon fed in that arena, and this pretty
Yeah.
much helps me out that way. So yeah, it works out great.
Yeah, our firm realized long ago that our very successful dentist clients have no ambition to be an amateur documentation specialist.
Right.
So putting all that in your lap and also putting it on a flash drive so you have it accessible to send to your CPA to, again, back up all the deductions. It's really been a help, and that's what most of our clients are telling us. So I
Yeah, for
appreciate your
sure.
input there.
Yeah, for sure. That's very helpful.
When do you think a young dentist should consider bringing in a firm like Tax Saving Professionals to start to take a harder look at income and tax strategies and tax planning? When in their career?
Well, I wish I'd done it way sooner. So I don't think it could ever be too soon. And I say do it. I, it's like for me, from a dentist standpoint, dentistry is hard enough work to create production, create revenue coming into the office, and that all takes us work. To reach out to a firm and say, well, if I pay you $500 and you save me $600, well, then I saved $100. Like, how long did that take? And if it was a 30-minute conversation, it's like, well, good, I made $200 an hour and it didn't use my body, it just used my head, and somebody walked me through the conversation. And as that difference between what you get paid and what the savings is grows, the hourly, if you will, return on not using my body on the keeping side, but it's still money in the pot, grows. So I think that the sooner somebody starts, even if the initial conversation offers no tax savings, that there's going to be a sort of a, well, when you get to this point, then we're going to be able to help you. When you get to that point, we'll help you more in that point. And it can even certainly can steer. I think one of the beauties of business ownership is it is a machine that you can run deductions through that are legal, but they may not be all business oriented, or they're business oriented, but there's a personal side to it. And just to create that awareness in somebody who would never get that in dental school unless they had a mentor along the way. I don't hear people talking about it at the local dental, breakfast club, because they don't know about it. So I think sooner the better.
That you've got a great perspective, and there's a lot of wisdom behind what you say. You know, we are told directly by the dentists that they are not strong business leaders yet, but they have the potential to seek out specialists and mentors to get them to where they want to be. Um,
Sure.
Finally, I want to wrap up, David. What would you tell, or what would you suggest? Maybe some buddies from dental school, maybe who are doing very well, but are still frustrated with their taxes. what would you say as a shout out to TSP to encourage them to give us a call, give me a call with my information there up on the screen? What should they know?
Well, I think that, it's the beauty of living in the United States. Like sometimes I've heard people say like certain people don't pay enough taxes. And the beauty of living in the United States is that if you want to pay more taxes to the government, you can. You don't have to pay just what they tell you. You can actually pay more. So if you have this feeling like you're not paying enough tax, you can always write a bigger check and the government won't send it back to you. So from my standpoint, it's like I feel like I want to pay my fair share, but at the same point in time, there are rules set up that allow that fair share to be changed because of rules no different than speed limit rules. The rules that are put in place, they're enforceable by the law. And so a lot of those rules allow business owners and other folks to save money in taxes, which from my perspective, I think I have a better idea how to spend my money to help the world than our federal government does, but that's just a David Pearce opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think anybody, when you're creating revenue in your own business, dentist or otherwise, it doesn't matter. That at the very least, you owe it to yourself and your family and are the other things you'd love to give money to just reach out to TSP and just say, so here's what I'm doing, beat it. And I'm sure TSP would love the challenge of saying, okay, great, let's see all the things you're doing. And I'm sure you all probably be confident saying, and we can create some tools in your tool belt that are going to put more money in your pocket, and whatever you do from there, it's your money. You can do what you want. So I'd say, yeah, definitely reach out to you all.
Well, there you have it, viewers. Dr. David Pearce, thanks for your insight. And I
Yeah.
want to give everybody the opportunity for a private conversation with me. That's my cell phone number there up on the screen, as well as my email address. Feel free to reach out. Don't wait until you file your taxes again this year until you realize how frustrated you are with taxes. Tax planning is a 12-month a year endeavor. And waiting till you file last year's return before you take action for this year will put you behind a little bit, or maybe a little bit too much. But in wrapping up, David, thank you so much. I appreciate your input and your wisdom, and look forward to seeing our viewers again on the next interview. Thank you so much, Dr. Pearce.
Yeah, my pleasure, Dan. You have a great day.
Same to you, David. Bye now.
Bye-bye.